and welcome back to Who's the Bitch?
Oh my gosh, is the bitch? Is it you? Is it me? Is it we? Is it us? Is it you? It's definitely you. I'm glad that you asked already, though, but I just wanted you to know right out the gate, 100% you.
Yeah, 100%.
No, that's not true. We are here to be telling truths here, all right? We are dropping truth bombs towards you. But I also appreciate because we are getting lots of people that are also like sending their own truth bombs back to us.
Yeah.
And that is via updates. We just wanted to say thank you to everybody who has sent in updates, but also appreciate you sending in your own thoughts on the stories that we're talking about.
Exactly. And if you'll remember a couple of weeks ago, a few episodes back, we had a caller calling in about a potluck where her friends have food allergies, one kind of serious, others that are less serious, but preferences, and demanded that the potluck for their birthday party, every dish
had to follow
these rules. And a lot of people, we had a lot of comments and emails on the episode and stuff. Like one person was like, I have a severe gluten allergy. Like I am bringing my own shit to every potluck. I'm bringing my own stuff. And like if I had a bad allergy, I wouldn't host a potluck because I wouldn't let people bring this kind of stuff into my house that could hurt me. To just trust them to be like nut free or whatever. And then some of the people were like, it's their birthday, let them do what they want.
There was also
but
that
my
response.
argument is it's not just their birthday. What are they doing to host their birthday if they're making everyone else bring the food?
Right.
That's my point. But we did get a voicemail that I really enjoyed that was kind of maybe distilling this down to a bigger, societal issue.
Love this.
So let's listen to this real quick.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hello. I'm just listening to your latest episode and talking about the birthday party potluck.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have a couple thoughts. I think overall, the bitch is people who don't understand party etiquette. And I think we've just lost the art of hosting.
Whoa.
I have been to parties, Thanksgiving and Christmas parties, where the host didn't cook the turkey, asked for someone else to bring it, and then didn't have any clean cutlery. Didn't say, oh, put this in the oven, put this over here.
That's not hosting.
My husband ended up having to coordinate all the cooking and the timing. And then there was not even clean forks. And I asked the host, I said, you have no clean forks? She said, oh, well, there's some in the sink. So you want me to wash your forks to feed all the guests that you invited over to your house?
It's just not hosting.
It just doesn't make sense. I've been to parties where the eggnog left out on the counter for the whole party. That's over 2 hours. That's food poisoning waiting to happen. I think we have lost the art of hosting a party.
Yes.
And the bitch is people who's like, obviously, community, we all come together, and there are things for that, the communal holidays. But when you're hosting people, you're in charge of creating a nice environment where your friends and your guests feel welcome. So the bitch is, I don't know, modern society, the loss of hosting art, people who don't have clean forks at their parties.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know how we fix that, but I think we just keep hosting killer parties and don't go to bad parties.
Yes.
Thank you for making Wednesdays better, and love you both.
Oh my God.
You are so correct. Because here's the thing, Kara. A little bit earlier, you're like, oh, if you're throwing a potluck, then it's like, what are you even hosting? Here's the thing. What this caller just said, you're right. There is an art to hosting. And because even if it is a potluck, you should still be hosting the potluck, having everything else prepared, having places to put it, being able to there is an art of hosting.
It's not just these are the four walls that the party's going to take place in.
There's
here's my yard and you can have it. And there's one thing of saying, listen,
this is my backyard.
Listen, we can do it in my
it.
backyard if you guys want, but I can't really do any of the hosting.
That's
whatever.
fine.
But hosting is an art. It is a thing. And I believe that.
I go over, so I don't have a home of my own, like that's really available for hosting. But oftentimes I host alongside my brother in his home.
Yeah.
And I go over there and people usually thank me for hosting, even though they know it's not my home, because I am
You're
hosting
organizing,
the
you're
party
coordinating
with them.
I just think I don't think you're hosting when you have a potluck for your birthday. You're not.
And if you are, then you at least have to, it's like, then you need to direct everything, I guess, if you have all of those food allergies. So I do understand where that person was coming from. I just think it's a bit of a bitch move.
Yeah.
I just think it's a lot to be like, everyone has to fall. But again, like the people that wrote in, if you have a severe allergy, well, that's a whole other ballgame. Yeah, you need to take care of yourself.
It's also like, I could see myself, if I had these allergies, I'd be like, you know what would be so great, you guys? If your friends are asking, what should we do for your birthday? You go, I would love if we did a potluck and I can eat every single thing at the potluck.
And that's fun.
But that's like 1 year. They were saying these people do this as a joint birthday party together every single year. That's not hosting.
No.
And then even if you did what I just said, like this, I want to do a vegetarian pescatarian party where I can eat every option. I never get to eat every option, and I would love that. Like, so would you guys do that for me? Yes. Then a couple friends go, we're organizing.
Oh my God, Kara, do you want that? Do you want me to do that for your birthday?
No.
I'll do that for you. I'll do it.
One of my greatest joys of being a vegetarian pescatarian is I love the lack of choice. I love that when I go to I like when I go to a menu that I'm like, I've got too much going on. My mind, I can't look at like 12 things on a menu and decide. I'm just like, oh, I can only eat 3 things on here. Let me decide which one I want.
You and Natalie, you're my favorite pesky that lives in my life. That it's never like, Natalie will go with us to a steakhouse and be like, I'm here for the baked potato.
Oh,
you know?
The mac and cheese, the sides at a steakhouse. I take Jared to a steakhouse every year for his birthday, and I look forward to it. I'm
Get
like,
that mac and cheese.
Give me some sauteed like garlic spinach, all those sides at a steakhouse.
Oh my God,
slap.
creamed spinach too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like, are there any nutrients in it anymore? I don't think so.
Yeah, and like the potatoes are 12 different ways. There's like au gratin, mashed,
cover it in
baked.
butter, and it's all butter, cheese, butter, cheese.
It's butter. So I just liked that little comment. I liked your sass.
It really genuinely drives me crazy that, and I understand, I think that oftentimes I've had to deal with this, I think in therapy, of dealing with, I was raised to be a domestic household runner and
A domestic goddess.
Yes, a domestic goddess. And I understand that not all people are raised to be like that. And I understand why people are like, I don't think that people should be raised to be like that. I completely get it. However, the caller was completely right. The art of hosting is dead to most people. And I think quarantine also really put the final nail in the coffin of people just being like, I don't have to. I'm just going to show up and expect it. And in fact, remember when I yelled about this even over Thanksgiving when people weren't like helping out and doing their share and they're part of it. That's also a part of the community of hosting events and what the societal rules are of like helping somebody clean up after if somebody did host and things like that, you know?
Yeah.
But that art is all gone and I still believe in it. But then that's the thing though. And then everybody tells me when I show up, you do too much.
Yeah.
You do too much. You do too much. I'm like, I think everybody does too little.
You're setting the bar.
I'm glad I said it.
Setting the bar. Okay. Should we get into our...
Although that is going to be my Real Housewives intro someday. You think I'm too much? I think you're too little.
Gorgeous.
You know I'm always working on it. I got to join my Rari girls. You get me out of Rhode Island, bitches.
Oh my God.
You get me out of Rari.
I was just talking to somebody about it and I was like, I'm going to do a summer watch of Rhode Island.
Oh,
I know
especially
that
when you're on
now,
the East Coast too.
Right now, we're filming this stuff a little bit ahead of time. So I know this comes out after 4th of July, but I'm going to treat myself to Rhode Island over the summer when I can because I've just been so crazed. And
you need the Rhode Island in your life between Real Housewives of Rhode Island and Love Island. I am never going to see the real sun ever again.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I think that, I started the goal last summer because I was depressed. And this year I'm doing it just because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of nice to be like, I'm just choosing to not look at the sun at all this year again. But I guess but you're the opposite. You're my summer baby. You love it. Get her out there.
Get me the tan. I'm already working on it.
You look great.
At this.
Look at this. Except we're not tan maxing.
Already working on
like
it.
a lot of the people. There are tan
I'm not
maxing is coming
anything.
back.
All the maxing needs to die with these fucking incels. I hope more of them continue to die getting leg lengthening.
Tan maxing is so fun. I was like, what year is it? Like I remember, as someone that grew up in Florida, the amount of people, like how crazy people tan. It's like you really get a lot of leathery bitches down there, and I love it. And I come from one. My mother is a forever tan. My mom's always very tan.
Tan mom.
And if you look at her, my mom's always just like, "Are you sick? Have you been outside?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, Mom, I don't go outside. I'm a goth girl." Mom,
get out of my room.
You don't understand me.
All right.
Although I think she would love it if I tan maxed. I think that she would think that I'd finally.
With what we know now.
I know. But my mom is like, and we used to cover ourselves in Crisco and we loved it. You should have seen how tan I was. And I was like, yeah, you were literally baking in the sun, Mom.
Wait, are we going to do... So, okay, wait, let's do this really quickly. We have unsolicited advice, which is when we comment on something that no one has asked us, who the bitch is. And we were just talking about how it's summer. People are going on vacation.
Oh, they're going on vacation.
And you found something out about Billy Bobby Brown. Oh, my God.
Well,
Billy Bobby Brown. Millie Bobby Brown. And her husband... John Bon Jovi Jr. or whatever his name is.
We're just calling him Bon Jovi, all right? It's not Bon Jovi's Bon Jovi's baby, all right?
Okay.
It's Bon Jovi's son. And I think that this would annoy me to such an extent, but it's because, Kara, we are both big planners. And I like, especially like when it comes to, and I know that you go on your like the summer trip that you guys do, which is, I say trip because it's not a vacay.
It's like a relocation.
Yes, of your entire family. Yeah. And so Millie Bobby Brown was complaining because Bon Jovi's son that she is married to and now is also the person that she is raising a child with, he doesn't pack. And by that, it doesn't mean, she has to pack for him. No, he refuses to pack. He doesn't pack any bags. Everywhere he goes, he just buys clothes when he gets there. And it drives Millie Bobby Brown insane. And I love this for her. I think nothing has made her, I already like her because everything about her, everything is like, I just want to be on a farm. I just want to be on a farm covered in babies and covered in lambs, And I'm like, good for you, bitch. Go be on a farm covered in lambs and babies.
She wants to be a little tratty.
Yes. And so she's out there living her best life, and it annoys the hell out of her that her entitled husband doesn't pack anything. And even if I had that level of money, that would also annoy the fuck out of me. And more so than anything, because Kara, we were kind of loosely talking about this. When your family relocates every summer, but who plans the whole summer?
I mean, I'm packing everything.
You're planning the whole summer?
I've purchased things that stay on the East Coast that I use then when I get there.
Right.
Like, this is, what I don't like about this is like, it's just so wasteful and unsustainable. And like, it just feels like it's shitty for the world. Like you're just buying all new I'm sure you're buying all new face products that has plastic packaging. You're buying all kinds of, you're like getting things delivered. That has an impact on the environment. Like I hate to be too Greenpeace about this, but like it's just really lazy and environmentally damaging to just go on a trip and buy all new shit. But I guess it probably stimulates the economy of the local. If you're going out and buying things locally, I guess great. But
do you really think that's what he's doing?
Or are you just getting a bunch of shit shipped to your hotel so that you don't have to carry a bag?
Or you get other people to go do it for you, I imagine. And it's things like that.
Just kind of feels like it's also a level of wealth that's more like Elon Musk and less my dad is Bon Jovi.
Right.
I know Bon Jovi's like rich, but like, are they buy new clothes everywhere you go rich?
I think that's why I imagine for Millie Bobby Brown, it's such an ick, especially when it's not even your money that you're doing it with. I feel like for me, being married to a person like that, that's where the ick would come from. If it was all his money, I'd be like, I mean, it's so wasteful and I'm so not into this, but I guess he's doing this. It's not even his fucking money. And like, I imagine if I were Millie Bobby Brown, I'd be like, also, whose money are you doing this with? Are you doing it with daddy's money? Or are you doing it with my fucking money? So I feel like, and of course, Millie Bobby Brown didn't say that, but I imagine there's a little bit of that in there because I mean, it's not like we're over here being like, oh, I don't even know this kid's first name. I'm just calling him Bon Jovi because we know his fucking daddy.
Yeah, so it's not like he's got something. What does he do? Does he do something?
Let me guess. Oh, is he a model? Is he a model DJ? I don't know. I feel like watching all the Love Island that I've been watching, it really helps you understand lots of these youngs are seeing themselves as DJ models.
Which I don't know which one this is. Jake? He's Jake. He's Jake Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
American model and actor.
Wow.
You nailed
How did I
it.
call it?
You nailed it.
Maybe he's just not a DJ yet. You know, maybe he hasn't gotten the spin to touch his fingers yet.
Raised in New Jersey. Like, come on. Just, I don't know. It's like, don't you, that's like a worldview thing to me that I would be like, really icked out and be like,
That's what
you're
I'm saying.
fucking, you're lame.
Yuck. And also then you
Pack
look
a
at
bag, make the bag loose so that you can buy some new shit on vacation. I don't begrudge rich people that want to buy new stuff on vacation.
Put some panties in there. What are you talking about? Put
Yeah.
something in there. Like, but I will say I am guilty of being an overpacker. I'm a bit of an overpacker. I like to be prepared.
His acting career started 2 years ago.
Aw.
He had a cameo in Stranger Things as Boy.
Oh my God.
In 2022.
In Stranger Things, which is so funny. Was it when he was already dating her?
I guess. When did they
Obviously.
start dating? Yeah, 2021.
Oh, wow. And so that's where, don't worry, Millie, don't worry where he's getting the money from. He did that one acting thing that one time.
It's just so out of touch. It's just really out of touch. Maybe he's influencing. He has 2 million followers. Anyway, let's get into our solicited advice. No one cares about the rich. Let's talk about, not that any of you that called in or wrote in today aren't loaded.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on in those bank accounts.
I would love it if our podcast just suddenly super, super rich people started calling in.
Yeah.
Who's the bitch? My maid did this thing.
And be like, oh, the Gucci?
Yeah.
What about the Gucci?
That would be hilarious. Okay. Okay, let's listen to this first voicemail.
Thank you for calling. Who's the bitch? Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Oh my God. Okay. Hi. Yeah. This is Roxanne. That's not my real name. I'm a 34-year-old university student. I never got a bachelor's degree the first time around, and now I'm getting an art degree because the world is burning. Why not?
You damn right,
but
bitch.
my situation is low stakes, high stakes. I'm in a group project with two, I'm going to guess like 20, 21-year-olds. And one of them has been really responsive and communicative and contributing to the project that we're working on. And the other has not shown up to school. There were 3 classes that we had to work on this, and they did not show up to any of the classes and kept being like, oh, sorry, I slept in, or I was doing stuff with my sorority. I'll be at the next class. And then the same person like asked for a like Zoom call the night before the project was due and then ghosted on the Zoom call.
No.
And then the only thing that they have now contributed to the project has been like based off of notes that me and the other person have provided. And like the project isn't up to like what my standards would be, but I've had to like let that go. But basically, would I be the bitch if I talked to the teacher and told them that this other person didn't contribute at all? Or do I just let this go and just accept that the grade that I get is going to be weighed down a little bit by this person not contributing? I've already asked the teacher if we can give feedback, and they said yes, but I haven't written the email yet. So what do we think? Okay, thank you so much. I can't believe I actually called. Bye.
Roxanne,
thank you for
love
actually
that you actually
calling,
called because I
Roxanne.
can hear it from here. Write that fucking email. Oh, I would write that email so fast my head would spin because I am, and I'm sure, Kara, you are also, as someone that would always find myself in the group project being the only one doing the project as I'm dragging everyone along with me. And how many times that I hear this, Roxanne, and for me, for my past, right the email, send the feedback because
Honestly,
it's bullshit.
for the girl.
Also that.
Like, it enables her every time somebody lets her get away with doing absolutely nothing and getting a grade. It enables her to keep going, oh yeah, I can focus on my sorority and like not do school. Fuck, you're at school for school. Trust me, as somebody who partied and did a lot of socializing in college and high school, like you just have to know what your priorities are.
You have to do it all.
You're enabling her by letting her get away with this stuff. And the last group project she did, they probably said nothing. So you need the buck stops with you.
You gotta do it.
You gotta say, like, she did absolutely nothing. Not only that, she's wasting your time.
Your time.
Like calling meetings and then not showing up.
No, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely a waste of your time.
She the bitch.
And you are not. And giving that feedback is smart. And we support it.
Yes.
You gotta, especially in this kind of situation where you're right, Kara, it is better for her in the long run to learn this lesson now.
Yeah.
And hopefully she does. Or maybe even the teacher won't even do anything about it. Maybe you'll just be graded accordingly or differently, or who knows what could happen. But I think that this will only help rather than
because then her next project, she's going to go, well, I don't want to get like another 0 because I fucked up this last project. So I'm going to work on it.
I'm going to actually work on it.
Yeah, you can't just like, there's too many people skating through life who are this girl.
Yes.
And it's annoying.
It stops here. Roxanne.
The buck stops with you. Roxanne.
Oh, God.
Put on the red light. Email your professor. Okay.
Yeah, I guess, but also then open up your knees if you think that's.
Yikes. Okay.
Not for the professor. I meant more according to the song.
Yeah. We don't think you're a sex worker, Roxanne. We're just talking, It's fine if you are. It's work.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about Moulin Rouge. Honestly, really
Absolutely.
what it is.
That's
I'm just thinking about Moulin Rouge now.
Roxanne. I love that shit.
It's so good.
Okay, let's read our first email submission today. Hey, ladies. First-time writer, long-time listener. Obsessed with both of y'all.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lily, female, 26. My situation is with work friends, excluding me from get-togethers. For context, I have lived in Utah my entire life. While I love living in Utah, it is a predominantly Mormon state. Hello, we are both consumers of Utah content.
Of the content.
I, however, am not a member of the church, which has made it extremely hard for me to make friends as a young woman who had a child at a very early age.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so here's the sitch. I work in a restaurant and I really love my coworkers. We all get along great and have lots of fun at work together. There are about 5 or 6 of us who have a really great friendship when it comes to work. We can all joke around and make the grueling days fun.
Great.
Working in fast food is no joke unless we're around.
Hell yeah.
We've had several dinners together and even a girls' night that I hosted at my house with me going all out. Now, speaking of hosting, she's going all out. She goes, with me going all out to buy non-alcoholic drinks to make everyone feel welcome and make a cute charcuterie board, etc. That is hosting.
Yes, it is.
I felt all of those events went really well. Everyone was vibing and the atmosphere felt fun each time. The problem is that recently there have been 2 to 3 events that I have not been invited to. Everyone except for myself were invited to a birthday party, a Shrek theme party, and a dinner party that I found out about after the fact through a third party. I'm mostly upset about the Shrek party because who the hell doesn't enjoy a Shrek party?
Exactly.
Every time I haven't been invited and the group talks about how much fun they had and what they did at the party, I just stuff my emotions down and say, oh my God, that sounds awesome. I try to be supportive and act like it doesn't hurt my feelings that I wasn't invited, but it truly does hurt me.
Yeah.
I've had a difficult time making friends, being a young mother who isn't in the LDS Mormon lifestyle. I am thinking I haven't been invited in the last few parties because I'm not religious, unlike everyone else in the group, or they don't invite me because they think I can't get a babysitter or something. I honestly don't know why they aren't inviting me anymore. I don't feel like anything has changed at work. Everyone is still super nice and we all goof around and have a fun time, but I'm really hurt that I'm being excluded lately. Am I being overly sensitive? Would it be bitchy if I confront them and ask why I haven't been invited? I just genuinely don't know what to do. I love these people and it really hurts my feelings not getting the same friendship back from them. Thanks so much for your advice. You guys make my day so much better every time I listen. Much love, Lily. Lily.
Oh my gosh, I just want to give you a hug. I don't think you're being overly sensitive at all.
No,
I really don't feel that way.
That's like, if there's one event where, like, this recently happened where I'm part of this large group of people that are a friend group, and there recently was an event where one of them only invited like half of us, and I was like, it's a different kind of event. They're inviting different friends also from outside the group.
Okay.
if they want to pick and choose, if there was like one thing like that, I would maybe get it. But three different parties,
and then they talk
and they're
about
talking
it in front of you.
That's so rude.
That's why my only thing that I'm thinking is that, do they feel like if you're assuming, which I think that we are assuming, that these are more like focused around people that are possibly in the Mormon religion, do you feel that like that this is the kind of thing where they're not even thinking about it? I guess that's what do you feel in this situation that they are doing this on purpose, or that they actively think, oh, well, you're not Mormon, so you probably wouldn't want to be in this Mormon community at this event.
Themed party.
But I know.
Come on, we watch Mormon Wives and we watch Housewives, right? Like of Salt Lake City,
and you have all
where some of them are Mormon and they have little things over.
Yes,
and like they've gotten into tiffs because someone brought a bottle of wine to a Mormon thing, right?
But I would definitely bring this up.
Yes, what I would probably do if I were you is like talk to the person that you're the closest to. There has to be somebody of them that you're the closest to, and just go, hey, can I talk to you about something?
And not in a defensive way.
Yeah, it's just like making me sad that you guys had these like 3 parties and didn't invite me. And if she's like, and if it's about the babysitting, that's not their right to assume that.
Right.
You get invited to stuff and it's like, hey, if you can find a babysitter, and if it's the kind of thing like where the baby can come, they can let you know. But if it's not, you can do your own thing to find a babysitter, or not. If you can't get a babysitter, you can't. But the invite is what's important.
Right.
And I would just see what they say, because
like the reason that like you bringing that up too about the babysitter, that like, have you used that as like a thing in the past? Because as someone that I do have friends that have used it to such an extent of like, well, how am I going to get a babysitter to do something where it's like, okay, well, then I've definitely backed off of inviting people places, of like you're right, I don't know what to tell you. So I was just inviting you, and I apologize to assume that
I think that contributes to a lot of like the alienation that a lot of like young mothers feel, that their friends stop inviting them because they make assumptions. You must be too tired. You must need to get a babysitter. You're probably up all night with the baby. Why don't you let the mom handle that and keep sending the invites?
Right.
If someone's openly bitching and being annoying, I could see why you'd back off of the invites. But like, don't just assume because someone has a kid that they don't have time. They don't have time to socialize, or they don't want to feel included. Even if they say no every time,
right? If
they're your friend, keep inviting them.
Invite them.
Eventually, the kid will be old enough that they can get dropped off at someone else's house for a little while.
Right.
So
it will definitely benefit you to talk to somebody about this.
You're not being oversensitive.
It's not being bitchy either. It's not at all.
Like, and if this one friend is like, oh, I don't know, that wasn't my party, I would be like, okay, but there's been 3 of them, and then you guys talk about it in front of me. Like, this is literally like middle school, elementary school
behavior,
etiquette. Like that you teach kids, like, hey, let's not talk. Like my daughter, was invited to this small little birthday thing to Disney with 2 other girls from her class to another friend's thing, and I go, just don't talk about it at school, she had 4 friends from school come over to her house for a movie night, and we took them to like a bounce house thing. And I was like, don't talk about it at school, okay? Because some people are gonna be sad that they didn't get to come. Just don't talk about it at school. Like, don't.
It's just, it's rude. It just genuine. Like, I feel like that's just straight up. That's why I only assume that maybe they think you just wouldn't want to be invited. Like, I can't imagine, you guys are all friends, that they would be actively talking about it in front of you to hurt you. Like, it doesn't even seem like you're saying that, Lily. Like, I don't think you're being overly sensitive at all. That's the only thing that makes me think they don't even think that you want to be invited, because of the fact that they're talking about it in front of you. And right?
Yeah, but or they're just being bitches.
Or they are just being bitches.
So bitchy.
But if they are just being bitches, then why would you want to hang out with them?
Right.
If that's genuinely how they're acting, well, then I wouldn't want to hang out with them.
Yeah, then they're just going to be like your work pals, and you're not going to hang out outside of work.
We just have a boundary.
Because like a dinner party and a Shrek party, these don't seem like things necessarily that it's not the church is sponsoring these.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Part of like the priesthood. Like, it doesn't. Yeah. I don't think a Shrek party is what they have after someone makes their priesthood. You know what I mean?
If you've already hung out a couple times outside, it's not like they just talk about the LDS life the whole time. So I don't know why they would feel like you couldn't be there.
Or is it like pressure from people in their lives where they don't want other people that aren't Mormon around? You know, it's like, I know I'm being devil's advocate. I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to think of all of the surrounding
but then if that
situations.
was true, then they wouldn't have attended the event at her house and they wouldn't have gone to these other events together.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like you've already done some events together. So it's just kind of like bitchy behavior, religion or no religion. And I think you should definitely ask like one friend. And if they don't know, then ask the person who had one of the parties. Go, why wasn't I invited to your Shrek party? You guys like talked all about it. Why wasn't I invited to this dinner party?
And it's also, again, it's not coming in hot and pointing fingers. That gets you nowhere. It's more of the
maybe there is something that you did. Maybe there is. I mean, you think everything's hunky-dory, but it's possible that they're like, they don't.
But that's what communication is for. That's what, then say it. That's also part of what this conversation should be. Like if, like you were saying, where we watch all this Mormon content, like if you had broken a rule that you didn't even know was a rule. That's what I'm saying. Like that.
Yeah, like let me know.
But communication has to happen. We have to have this or else nothing's going to ever get fixed, you know?
Yeah. Definitely ask and let us know what they say because I'm interested.
I hope they're not just being bitchy.
Okay, let's get to the next one.
Thank you for calling. Who's the bitch? Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi guys. I love you guys. You guys are great. I listen to you all the time.
Thank you.
And this one I have for you might be a little heavier, a little higher stakes for. You'll see. My brother died last weekend, and
So sorry.
I had two brothers. Now I have one, and we all went through the same childhood. Well, you know, as much as siblings do, it was still different childhoods, but same parents, you know, and we experienced similar traumas, the source being our father. And I cut off contact with him quite a long time ago, and he's the sort who, if you try to talk to him, will not hear what you have to say, especially if it goes against anything he thinks is true or right, and you will not get acknowledgement. You know, there's no point in it. So I never really tried after a few times. You know, I just gave up and decided I don't have to put myself through this. So my question is, would I be the bitch, or how much of a bitch would I be if I did finally just write him a letter and sent it to his address with no return address? He doesn't know how to contact me, but not for him. You know, at this point, I wouldn't be worried about making him angry or hurting his feelings or anything. It would be for me, so I could tell him exactly how I feel about him and why I don't talk to him, and how he was a miserable young man who became a miserable old man who shared his misery with his children, and one of his children didn't survive it. I think it would give me a kind of closure, but maybe I'm being the bitch to myself here. Even, I don't know. I just wanted to hear what you guys think on that. Thank you. Bye.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
So sorry. I'm sending
sorry
you
for
so
your
much
loss.
love. I'm so sorry.
And I'm in your club. You know, I've talked about it on here before that I have a brother who, you know, is no longer with us. Similar situation. Not that it was the result of my parents, but you know, I understand like this post grief, like you're probably like dealing with a lot of extra anger,
I'm sure,
towards your dad right now. And I think you are absolutely within your right to send that. I think also just even writing it out could be so cathartic. Like you could just write it out and put it in an envelope and decide to send it or decide not to. Decide to burn it in a fire and just say you're done. I mean, you sound like you're pretty set, and I think I'm a huge fan of the letter.
Yes.
And the email. And I think one of the reasons I am is because I have had like a parent that I felt like doesn't sort of always acknowledge me or like take any accountability or self-reflect, or at least did they've done some work on themselves. And so I would always be like, oh, a letter or an email is like, I get all my points out. I don't get flustered by someone manipulating or spinning it or coming back at me with whataboutism or anything like that. That's what I love about a letter. So I think the whole process of just writing it will be like so cathartic for you. And then I say send it, but I would maybe just like wait a little bit. This is so fresh. And I know by the time you hear this, it will have already been a few weeks. So, you know, sorry that we are not getting to it in a more timely manner, but I just totally get how you feel, because like also when someone dies in the manner with which I think you're saying that your brother died, it is just you do look for someone to blame a lot, and it absolutely sounds like it could be a lot of your dad's fault. But I would just, for you, like take like a breather and just like really mourn your brother and who he was to you, and, you know, celebrate his life, and don't like spend all of your grieving time just funneling all your rage at your dad, you know, because he doesn't deserve it. I mean, no, he deserves
it. It's
you don't deserve to waste your energy on it, is what I meant.
That's why
not he doesn't deserve it.
He definitely deserves it.
You know what I mean?
Yes, completely. Yeah. And I think that that's like the caller knows that this is, and I appreciate the fact that you even shared that, like, you know that this would be for you, that you're not going to change your father. I will say, I will implore you to work through this, hopefully through therapy, if you're able to, because talking about all of this, all of your feelings about all of this, to really process the many, many feelings that come through the stages of grief, I hope that you will have help through this entire experience, because we all know that hopefully writing the letter, hopefully that will make you feel better, but that's just the beginning of what needs to really be for you, needs to be worked on.
Yeah.
And taking your, and like, hopefully for you, this will be the final, like, if this is what you, in talking with a therapist, definitely, hopefully, that this will be good for you, and that you will truly feel differently after having sent it and not expecting and knowing you won't receive the response, and being able to process that as well, because I feel like I worry, and this is only because I'm putting my own self in the situation, that even though I would know that there's no way he could contact me back, I think that I would have a lot of anxieties of like, is he now going to contact me about this? Like, is he going to try to find me and reach out? But again, I don't know, but that's why therapy is so important to help.
This guy sounds like he probably can't even freaking figure it out.
I hope.
But I will say too, I totally understand the satisfaction of wanting to just like send that letter and be like, and now go argue with a wall, bro.
Yeah.
Go argue with a wall, because you can't say shit to me. You can't hurt me anymore. And even though he might crumple it up and say, this is bullshit. You won't know. And even if he does do that, your words are still going to be in his mind forever. Rent free.
Yep.
He's going to know what you laid it all out, that he was a shitty dad and he's a shitty person. And who knows, maybe it will, not now, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 10, maybe it will be like, you can't ever say nobody didn't tell you.
Right.
You know?
But I'm also proud of you that you're not even looking to change him.
Yeah.
And I think that also goes to show how much you've worked on this already, that you're not expecting this to be, you know, I think that, and you know that it would be for you and not for him. And that I'm really proud of you for knowing that already. And so at least you're already working and processing this, even in just the week that it's been. Also, babe, it's just been a week. I just want to hug you. You're right. Also, remember to also celebrate
celebrate your brother, and take the time for yourself. And like, if you still feel this way in maybe like a few weeks, like a month or something, sit down, write it all down. If you feel like it would make you feel better to write it right now, write it right now. And then revisit it in like a little bit after this initial grief has like, it never goes away, but you move through it.
It just changes. It forms.
Yeah,
you accept.
Changes around you. But thank you so much for calling in and just,
sending you love. Please let us know how it goes.
I do feel like things get better with time, but
It does.
is
But it's
like-
like even hearing that, it's just like, oh, great.
yeah, I just gotta wait.
I just gotta wait.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, let's get to our next submission.
Let's do it.
Jackie, could you please read this
Of
email?
course. Hello, Kara and Jackie. I love you both, but I kind of want to get straight to the point since this just happened an hour ago and it's still fresh in my mind. I had to go to Target to pick up a prescription, and since I had to drag my kids along, ages 4 and 2, I figured might as well grab them cake pops for tagging along.
Cake pops are the biggest scam of our time.
Really?
They are almost $5. I don't know where the caller
$5?
lives, but they're like $4.50 in LA. They are 2
It's a
bites
bite.
of cake.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would rather buy you a full cake.
Yes.
Than a cake. My kid and but I totally get it. My kids are obsessed.
Of course.
Every time we go to
They all want
Target,
cake
they want
pops.
one at
Yeah.
the in-store Starbucks.
Oh, yeah, they need it. As we're walking through the food section, I see 3 teenage boys, ages approximately 14 to 16, walking through the aisle. My kids and I end up behind them, and I watch 2 of the boys take bags of marshmallows while the other member of this boy group walked down a separate aisle. I clocked all of this as odd and figured they were going to do some dumb TikTok trend I have no idea about. Well, 3 seconds later, those 2 boys with the marshmallows chuck them into the ceiling tiles. They dislodge a bit, but nothing crazy. I'm baffled I just witnessed this. The idiot marshmallow boys run away. I look down the aisle and see that their idiot friend was left behind just standing there. I'm guessing he was supposed to be filming them? I don't know. Some power from another world takes over my body, and I yell at this loner boy, "You little shit! I know you were with those guys! Go tell them I saw all of you and get out of here!" Now let me say, I'm not a Target employee. I should not have gotten involved. But the Target workers just stood there not doing anything. I totally crazy white ladied out for a moment. The loner boy was taken back by my small outburst and said, "Oh, I'll tell him," and ran away. The 80-plus-year-old lady next to me looked at me and gave me a "you go, girl." I've never raised my voice at strangers, let alone dumbass minors in public before, so I called my mom to talk about it. She laughed and reminded me that I'm full of hormones right now, and that definitely factored into why I raged out for a moment. My doctor had prescribed me the birth control pill, the reason I was at Target, to take with my arm implant because my body hates me and won't stop bleeding. So ladies, here is the ultimate question. Who's the bitch? Dumb kids, dumb TikTok trends, me, the crazy white lady, or birth control? Best wishes and much love, Zoe from Minnesota.
Girl, I've been meaning to bring this up on the podcast. You know how I'm so pro vasectomy? I was so excited for my husband to get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
And I would be birth control free.
Yeah.
Guess who just got back on it?
Whoa,
I'm back on that
you're back
damn
on the
pill
pill.
because of perimenopause and all this shit that's happening with the bods. I can't have, I've been having these insane, like
Issues?
Period, like 10 days of period, then goes away for a week, then it comes back. Forget it. I'm back on birth control pills.
Oh my
I'm
God. Are
taking
you
back
feeling
control of my
crazy?
life. Birth control pills I've never had an issue with them.
Oh, okay.
I've always taken a low dose one, but I'm just saying I feel you. Same issues, back on the BCPs. But dude, teenagers are a menace to society.
Yeah.
And not all of them, but many of them.
A lot
I
of
just took my kids.
I'm scared of them.
I just took my kids to Knott's Berry Farm for Oscar's birthday in early June.
Oh, and that's like the Wild West
And guess
out
what?
in Knott's Berry.
Early June at Knott's Berry, late May, that's grad time, baby. That's grad season.
That's grad
So there are
time.
just massive crews of like high school kids, middle school kids screaming. I thought my little kids were the problem. No. We were on their version of the teacup rides, which is like the Mexican hat dance fiesta ride or whatever. And literally the teens were all screaming, and my 2 kids were like sitting in their cup smiling and having a good time. And I said to them, I go, look at my little elementary school kids being so good, and look at these teens. And my kids, nothing unites you like a common enemy. So my
yes.
kids keep going, these teens. They're like running around. But like these boys kept knocking into us in one of the lines because they were fucking around and they didn't have a parent around.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm going to give it 3 times of them knocking into us. And then finally I just went, hey, can you guys chill out? You just keep knocking into us. And they were like, yeah. And then one of them goes, yeah, can you chill out, to like the other friend? And I was like, Oh, if you guys even if you guys go down this road, I'll fucking screw. I don't think it matters that they're minors. I think we're a village.
Yes.
And we need to be helping some people's kids understand what they're doing wrong sometimes. But these fucking TikTok trends are so annoying.
They're so annoying, and I understand. And like all of us, we're so wound tight right now that I feel like you see something like that, and you're just like, you know what? I can't scream about everything else that's going on in our current reality, but I can yell at this stupid kid in front of me. And I understand. And I know that we shouldn't yell at stranger minor children, and I understand that, but I also understand that sometimes you just snap. And I'm not saying we're not using hands. I'm not saying it's cursing. Although the little shit, I mean, I understand. It's just sometimes. And I usually have a lot of patience with young people because I don't have children, so I think I just get extra patience with it on the outside. But it is so funny to remind yourself how young people flirt. And they flirt by screaming,
what I noticed
by hitting,
at knots.
It's so crazy that they flirt by like using each other like a jungle gym at all times.
Or just like, you know that thing where guys will like jump up and try to hit something high?
Something high.
That was all just a flex for people that they have crushes on. And it's like, they just don't know what they're doing. And they're just like walking around. Their hormones are on their sleeves.
Yes.
But this sounds like it was 3 dudes. I mean, honestly, in the scheme of how things that they could do at Target, this isn't that bad. They didn't do like permanent damage. It's not like they were stealing.
That's why I don't think that this situation called for getting screamed at, but I understand the impetus of where you were when seeing that. And then your children are in the cart and you're watching all this. The employee's not doing anything.
But the Target employees aren't going to do anything. They're instructed to, I don't even think, chase down somebody for stealing unless it's over $400 or $700, something like that.
Most places, I hope that they still do this, but like Jeff and I have talked about this before, like Jeff worked at Circle K for like 3 years when he was younger, and he was always told
strange things are afoot
at the Circle K. And he would always be told, like, you never go after somebody because you never know what they're going to do. And at the end of the day, all places have things that they can, it's like Target, don't worry, is making enough money. They're not losing money on the marshmallows. But I also understand just
I think it's
snapping.
Like, exactly. It's kind of just like, why are there no consequences? Why is an employee's not yelling at you? Your parents aren't with you to yell at you. And if I don't say something, you're just going to keep on pegging marshmallows at the ceiling. And so I'm going to say something. And I get it. You probably need to like just relax a little bit. Unless you see somebody doing something really I yell at teens all the time if I see them doing something harmful.
If
I'll
it's
be like,
harmful.
hey, that's not going to work out. Knock it off.
Yeah.
I do that. I'm a volunteer at my kids' school. I'm on the PTA. I'm doing that to kids all the time. I'm like, you're going to hurt yourself. Stop doing that.
I just used to be so scared. Honestly, all this conversation just brings back so many memories. I know I've brought this up before, but I used to walk back from work every day through a middle school and a high school. Like when I lived in New York, I had to walk through a middle school and a high school. So like between where I worked on Graham Ave and then I lived off of Grand.
Okay,
and so
I just had a visual of you walking through the hallways, like with the lockers on either side. And I was like, Jackie, what?
No, I would just be around when the kids would get out of school.
Yeah, and I live near a high school. I see high school kids all the time.
I would be yelled at every day. I was so scared. I was like, the middle schoolers aren't going to jump me, but the high schoolers might. And they really would yell. They'd just be like, fat lady, fat lady. And I'm just be like, I know. And I'm just like trying to walk faster.
Middle schoolers, I think, are meaner than high schoolers, to be honest. 7th and 8th grade. Oh.
You know what it is, though? They don't have the confidence to yell it out quite as much unless they're in packs. And then that's the problem, is that then they're in the packs. And I'm so scared of what it's like. In New York, they would it was like known that packs of high schoolers would come onto the train and then they would play like the punch out game where they would like punch someone like in the face on the train. It's like the punch out game was happening all the time. I am scared of roving any kind of bands of teenagers, middle school, any of them. I'm scared of all of them.
I yelled at some teen on the subway one time because the door opened for a stop and she just threw her empty water bottle out. And I was like, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't litter. Like, don't do that. And her and her friends were just like, don't let her. And I was like, oh, wow.
good
awesome
one.
comeback.
Good one. I love it when that's my comeback, though, to their comeback, where it's like whenever they'd be like, fat lady, I'm like, wow, get a better one. You think I haven't heard that before?
Yeah. You think you can hurt me?
No, your words can't. Meanwhile, I'm just crying by myself later on, but not in front of them.
So I think kids are hormone controlled. Hormones are the bitch here, I would say, in all the situations. The hormones are controlling you. The hormones are controlling them. The hormones are the bitch.
And also, honestly, I was just reading this article where Tina Fey was talking about how menopause is just puberty again, and how it really is crazy that in the same way where we were so scared of acknowledging puberty when we were that age, she's like, I'm 56 years old. Why are we not talking about how insane menopause is?
Well, because now perimenopause starts and it could go on for 5 to 10 years.
Yes.
Puberty's like 2 years, right? Max?
It's in and out. Well, for some,
it depends.
And then some people don't have it until they're 17 or 18.
Right, but once
and then
it hits, it's a pretty quick thing.
Yes.
This is like a 10-year stretch where I can't remember anything anymore. People go, that's perimenopause. I'm like, come on, really?
It can't all be perimenopause, can it?
I'm like, I have a sort of a shaky ankle. They're like, perimenopause. Like, and my nails look like shit.
No, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was warm and people were like, that's hot flashes already. I was like, I feel like, is it already?
I know. I can't tell because I'm like I'm sweating sometimes, but then not every time. And
I'm just hot.
I can't tell. Anyway, don't be too hard on yourself. I think you probably got those kids.
I'm glad you yelled at them.
Yeah.
I'm happy you did.
I'm glad you did. But I also think they didn't really do anything that bad.
But it's kind of, I love it. Oh, I'll tell them.
You're kind of preempting it because you're stopping them because next time they're going to up it. They're going to go, no one says anything, So you're preempting it.
I mean, that's already what Target does with the whole stealing things. At least that's what everybody says. They're like, they let you steal. I'm saying this as someone that is very fervently, very scared of stealing things, so I never do. But I'm always like, they watch the cameras, and when you steal a certain amount, then they arrest you. And I don't even know if that's an old, is that just an old wives' tale that I've heard on the internet? I don't know. But I'm scared of it. Live in fear. That's what I always say here on Who's the Bitch. Always live in fear.
Okay. Let's listen to one more voicemail.
Okay.
And then we will be out of here. Okay.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi. Love you guys so much. I have been listening now for a little over a week, which is crazy, but I've been binge listening. So
what?
It's amazing. I listened to the last podcast on Blast and then heard an ad about your show and came over here. So I have a little bit of a situation.
Ooh.
My parents have gotten very involved in a timeshare scheme with Hilton. And I know not too much, but a little bit about why timeshares are bad and why they absolutely suck and how they can leave you in debt, especially if you're willed stuff. And my parents recently told us that they are going to be willing a quarter of this timeshare to each of the 4 of us, their children. So my situation is I do not want this timeshare, right? I guess I'm asking for advice on how to be do not put in the will that I get a part of this because I don't want it. Because I had already kind of sort of had this conversation with my mom, and she was like, well, you can just bequeath it to somebody else. You don't have to take it. It's just in the will in case you change your mind, which I will not be changing my mind. I do not want to be a part of a timeshare. I do not want to be in debt or stuck with trying to figure out how to get out of a timeshare. So, am I the bitch for continuing to push this when my mother so clearly thinks it's a great thing and a great idea? Let me know.
Ooh, timeshare talk. I'm going to assume, Kara, that you know more about timeshares than I do. I'm just going to say this.
Honestly, I have only had friends with timeshares or whose parents, have timeshares. And they seem I was always like, whatever. When you do Google it, the internet is pretty agreed that timeshares are like a bad investment.
Right?
And I think if you have no interest in going to the place where the timeshare is really as well.
But it's a Hilton, so I imagine that means that it's multiple, I would assume, right?
No, because you get a timeshare. It's like a specific unit is yours, right?
Oh.
Like, I don't think you get to just go to whichever timeshare. I think you get a timeshare in like Mexico, a timeshare in Florida, and like that's your apartment, but you basically move out of it. My friend's parents had one in like Florida that was like 2 weeks a year it was theirs, and then other people have it. So it's like your
timeshare operates with Hilton. This is a very cursory glance. It's based on a points system. So your timeshare is based on points, and then you have a certain amount of points, and you can take those points and apply them to other Hiltons, is what it seems like. But it doesn't guarantee, and it is, so that's why
the more they make things confusing like this, the more my scam flags start waving brusquely in the breeze.
Because
I'm sorry, whenever they're like, okay, all you have to do is get this many points, and then you get a power up, and when you get 1.5 power ups, then you get entered into a lottery that is only for elite gold members. Platinum, sorry, you go into a sub lottery.
Yeah, and that's where the prayer points begin if you start praying.
Literally, it's like so scammy. But I also Googled one thing that said that Hilton is one of the better timeshares. Regardless,
this makes me think of like a gym membership where it's like difficult. It's difficult to get into. It's difficult to get out of. No matter what, at the end of the day, you don't own anything. You don't really get anything.
Apparently, the resale of timeshares is like very hard. There's almost like you get like 0 to 10% of your investment back.
So I would understand why you wouldn't want to be involved in this. Let's just say out the gate, I get, and you are not the bitch for not wanting to be involved in this. That's for damn sure. I want to know, what do your siblings think? Because is this the kind of thing where if all of your siblings feel the same way, where you're like, all like, I don't want to touch this at all, or if they are all in, I feel like this is the kind of thing that you could figure out with your siblings rather than including your parents in. And that's my only, because it seems like your mom's like, you gotta have it. It's a timeshare.
The thing that's crazy about a timeshare as well is like you only usually get it 1 or 2 weeks a year.
Right.
What are the chances that you and your 4 siblings are all going to be able, with their families, I'm assuming, and their partners, to take the same week or 2 off every year? And so then it's arguing over who gets it which year. It seems like a logistical nightmare.
It seems like, especially with a quarter of it.
Yeah, I think Jackie's absolutely right. Poll the siblings. Let's say one of them is really down. Let them have it. Let's say 2 of them are really down. Let them have it. You just say, respectfully, I'm backing out of this. I do not want to be involved with this. And it sounds like you had like a casual conversation with your mom about it. I think you need to tell your mom, I've done a bunch of research, and do some research.
Sure.
And honestly, for me, with my life, I do not want to be a part of this. So if you could please make sure not to put that
on me
in the will, that's like something I don't want to take care of.
Right, because I do kind of feel like, which I mean, I get for your parents because they don't want to get rid of it. At this point, now it's like, oh, you're just passing off the buck of like who's got to deal with this.
Yeah.
And now I got to deal with it, and I don't want it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But if they also all know that their kids don't want it, they can sell it when they get too old to use it. But they're not going to make any money, but they just sell it. Stop paying for it.
Yes. And then at least save that. Then it's like, well, then maybe leave whatever money you do have left over to the kids.
I guess, I don't know. Does it work like a mortgage where when you sell, you at least get back what you put in?
Or in a timeshare, and I know that this is silly, is it like a lease to own situation? Like in a timeshare, is there ever a point, and this is now I'm just asking questions about timeshares, that you stop paying for it, or do you always and forever pay for it? You know what I mean? Like, is it a lease to own, or is it the kind of thing that you like pay for it until you've paid for it?
Yes, you can pay off a timeshare.
All I know about timeshares is that like they would just try to like corner you at like Disney hotels and just be like, but don't you want to be here forever?
This is what a quick Google says, that it's not a good financial investment, and that even if you pay it off, that eliminates your monthly payments. But timeshares often come with always increasing maintenance fees, like condo costs, stuff like that. So you're still gonna have some little. It feels like kind of a never ending. It's kind of like, I think even if I pay off my house, I think I have to pay taxes on it forever. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
I think so. Even if I
don't know anything about being an adult.
I think you do. I think you have to pay for, yeah. So it's like.
But it's like I already paid for it.
Yeah.
I don't understand being an adult, but the one thing I do know is I wouldn't want a timeshare either. So I'm with you, and I think that you should definitely talk to your siblings and
they're so hard to sell too.
Yeah.
Like, even if you just want to get rid of it, it's like your parents should start the process like
especially
soon
right
of getting
now.
rid of it.
It's not like everybody's got like, oh yeah, sure.
It just sucks because I do also feel like I'm gonna. I don't even know what they're gonna be, but I know I'm gonna have so many annoying things to deal with when my parents, knock on wood, are no longer with us, because they're not good with this kind of stuff.
With this kind of stuff.
And so I don't think they're gonna have a timeshare, but I know we're just gonna have to like
deal with
get rid
all
of
of
stuff
it.
and do all kinds of stuff. And like, so there's already like so much that I don't think maybe appeal to them, like what happened when their parents passed, and be like, you know how you were left doing XYZ? That's what it feels like to me, you leaving me this timeshare.
And I'm going to be so upset when you're gone.
It.
You know, I also feel like it is the kind of like of actually genuinely having the conversation of like, I'm already going to be mourning you and everything and dealing with everything else. Please don't put an extra thing that will
can you like return to sender something you get in a will? Like if like
just be like, no,
your
thank you.
Parent dies and goes, I leave you this. Can you just say no thanks?
I think I don't know.
I mean, you probably can, but if like a house or something is in your name, you're responsible for it,
right?
So,
and
it would just be putting it on your siblings. So go, I don't want. I will not engage in this timeshare. So you're either get me out of the will, or you're giving my siblings a reason to be mad at me and you, because my share is going to fall on them because I'm not doing it.
Talk to the siblings.
Yeah. Yeah. God, sorry that you're going through that. That's so annoying.
That's just so annoying. And especially like, I feel like some people will be like, well, at least they're leaving you a timeshare. It's like, no, I don't, they're leaving me a headache is what they're leaving me.
Yeah. So, oh my Lord. Okay. Thank you guys, all of you, so much for writing in, calling in, DMing in. We appreciate everybody's. We try to get to as many as we can, but of course there's so many that we don't get to.
We were all across the board today. Loved these.
Yeah, we were up and down, and we just really appreciate. We love our bitchling community.
Yes, thank you guys
and
so much.
thank you guys for trusting us to randomly spout advice off to you and tell you who's the bitch.
We really appreciate you guys. You can get in all of your information at who'sthebitch.com. You can email us, you can call us, you can, you can find a bird, and if you could struggle with that bird, write a note, tie it to the bird's neck, maybe a pigeon, maybe a seagull. If you can get it to us, it might be a French fry by the time it gets to us, but I don't know what that seagull's going to do with it, but maybe send it to who'sthebitch.com and we will find out your problem and we will get that advice to you, because guys, we love hearing from you and we thank you so much for including us in your lives.
And you can always follow Who's the Bitch LPN on Instagram, where we post bitchlets.
Yes.
And we post a lot of buzzball content, to be honest.
A lot of buzzball content, but also over on the YouTube, we've got our live.
If you're just listening,
full episodes.
If you're just listening to our voices, try watching us. We'd love it.
Yeah, I make fun, stupid faces like this, and like this.
See, and none of you got to see that unless you were watching.
Unless you were watching.
Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.